Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I first want to apologize for being a little bit late with this update. I have been kind of busy and yeah, honestly I've just been busy. Plus my throat has been kind of scratchy, but I have a couple of cough drops, so hopefully that'll keep me going. I don't know. But anyways, so we are on 8.6. I've already read through this whole update, but I will go ahead and probably have to pause a little bit and read just to remember some of the details because I don't remember everything. But this also wasn't that big of an update in my opinion, so let's get right into it. So the new backstage pass theme is After the Journey. If you guys, a lot of you guys are really good at telling who these characters are based on. I know who these characters are based on, not necessarily because I can tell from the artwork, but because I saw a post that more or less, on here by the way, a post on here that more or less showed exactly who these characters were inspired by, or these variants, I mean. So I know that this is supposed to be based on Fern, and this is based on Aura, or Ara, or whatever. Alright, so let's take a look at the new characters. Scale Tipper Filia. Alright, so her ability, Scales of Obedience. While Filia has... Oh shoot, hold on. While Filia has more buffs or fewer debuffs than the opponent, transfer one opponent buff every 4/3/2 seconds. I'm sorry, I still don't know how to read this in a way that makes sense. I understand what it's trying to say, or I understand what it is saying, but it's awkward to read out loud. And inflict one random debuff every second for 7 seconds. Every second? That sounds kind of cool. I didn't realize it was that fast. When the current number of buffs and debuffs between both fighters is at least 25, okay, I'll just say down to 17, the opponent suffers permanent doom for 10 seconds, bypassing all debuff preventing effects. So her ability actually sounds kind of interesting to me. It seems like this part, get the number of buffs and debuffs between you and the opponent to 17 seems really hard to pull off. I don't know, but I didn't realize that she inflicts a debuff every second for 7 seconds, but she has to have more buffs or fewer debuffs than the opponent. But I feel like that's not, I don't know if that's difficult or not. I guess it just depends on the circumstances of the fight. She sounds interesting to me, but I don't know how easy it would be to actually inflict doom. And to be honest, because of that, I feel like that maybe is a good balance then, because her doom effect says it bypasses all debuff preventing effects, which, to be honest, you guys, this whole bypassing stuff is kind of scaring me a little bit. We've already seen that with, what's her face? I forgot what her name is. The Misfortune that can give herself permanent precision. She has something that makes it so she can gain her permanent precision regardless of whether or not she has a curse. So that scares me. I hope we don't continue to see that. I mean, we probably will, but I guess as long as it's a little balance like this, it's fine. I'm pretty sure there's another character that can do something that prevents or bypasses something. I forget who it is though, but whatever. Moving on. Next we have Manaflow Squiggly. I think this artwork is really cool, by the way. In my opinion. Well, I guess I just said that though when I said I think. That was unnecessary to add. Anyways, okay, so we have Quick Cast. Squiggly's standard blockbusters consume all dragon charges to gain additional effects per dragon charge. Gain 25% blockbuster meter when gaining a dragon charge, and automatically gain 25% dragon charge per second. When using a blockbuster, gain permanent precision until the combo ends. Permanently gain 20% attack when spending a dragon charge. Okay, the permanent precision until the combo ends sounds a little bit weird to me because you have to use a blockbuster to activate it, but I'm also not much of a Squiggly player, so I feel like I'm not even very good with Squiggly combos, but still, that's pretty cool. It's a little bit weird to me, the idea of that, but she sounds pretty cool. I like that she can apparently gain a permanent 20% attack boost when she uses a dragon charge. That's crazy, especially because it's so easy for her to use dragon charges, since not only does do some of Squiggly's moves naturally use dragon charges, but she just uses all of them if she uses a blockbuster. So she sounds kind of cool. I don't know. What do you guys think about her? I'm a bit not confused, but I'm wondering what it means when it says to gain additional effects per dragon charge. What does that mean? Is that specified in here and I'm just missing it, or what? I don't think so. I'm not really sure. Also, automatically gain 25% dragon charge per second. So after 4 seconds, she just fills up her dragon charge meter. That's kind of cool, because normally, I don't want to say I don't like charging the dragon charge, but I feel like sometimes it's a bit scary to do that. So having a Squiggly that can just passively do it is cool. I guess all Squigglies can passively do it though, I think, as long as you unlock her prestige ability, but whatever. I'm talking too much about this. Okay, the headliner relic pool. So this month we've decided, this is something I actually forgot about. This month we decided to add a 50% chance when you pull a gold fighter and a headliner relic that it will be the newest variant available. So that's really nice because there are a lot of characters in this relic pool, and I feel like increasing the chances of getting the new character is pretty cool. I guess we can go over the characters that are available now. Magic Girl Filia, 1-Up Big Band, Lucky Lore Umbrella, Double Exposure Robo Fortune, Flower Power Fukua, Scale Tipper, Filia. Wasn't, by the way, this is really random, but wasn't the newest Life is Strange game called Double Exposure? Am I wrong? I feel like every time I read Double Exposure, that's all I think about, but I could be totally wrong. Okay, for the diamonds, Soulbound Annie, Locked and Loaded, Black... Oh my gosh, I need to... Okay, I'll specify that in a second. I'll get into that in a second. Locked and Loaded, Black Dahlia, Grandmother Double, Fatal Frame Misfortune. I hate this character, by the way. Comic Custodian Marie, and Manaflow Squiggly. So, those are the variants available in the headliner relics currently. Okay, Locked and Loaded, Black Dahlia, you guys. This has nothing to do with the update at all. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I know I'm going to forget to mention this. If I ever say something weird about Locked In not being good, or not being that great, or hearing bad things about her, it's because I'm thinking of Locked and Loaded. I get Locked and Loaded and Locked In mixed up, and I know that sounds stupid because they don't even look the same. Like, they're different characters entirely. Like, at least with some of the characters I get mixed up, they have the same, or they're the same character, and they have similar color palettes. In this case, it's a Black Dahlia and an umbrella, or not umbrella, a parasol that I'm getting mixed up. So, but it's because their names. It's because they both start with locked. Okay, and Locked In Loaded. I mean, it's Locked In Loaded, but Locked In. Come on. So, yeah, if I say something stupid, it's because I'm probably getting them mixed up. Anyways, okay, so the Mariachi Diamond Relic. Let's see. Well, I mean, I guess we kind of already went over this, but obviously, there's a higher chance to get Manaflow Squiggly in that one, so there you go. Okay, so the next thing, I didn't even watch this video. So the next thing they added was collection recycling. Now, I don't know all of the details for this feature, but basically they just provided a way to free up space and get some resources for it by getting rid of characters. So according to this, it says recycling your fighters will give rewards similar to as if you were sacrificing them into other fighters. At a base level for each fighter, depending on their rarity, you'll receive an amount of skill points and XP trees, with golds receiving retakes and gold shards, and diamonds receiving what they would normally get for converting in the power-up screen, plus a number of retakes as well. Okay, I think diamond characters, I've gotten rid of diamond characters before, I'm pretty sure, just out of curiosity. Duplicates, of course, not. I would never get rid of a diamond that I only had one copy of, but I believe you get an elemental essence for doing it, so yeah. Additionally, if you recycle a fighter who you have invested in, 20% of XP, canopy coins, and skill points. Why would you ever you know what? Never mind. Anyways, and skill points that have been invested in the fighter will be refunded back to you. I guess if you're like really desperate for stuff, I don't know. It says the main goal of this feature isn't to expand on resources, but mainly to allow you to clear your collection quicker. Okay, so I guess it's just to be more convenient. So yeah, I don't think, I'm gonna be honest, you guys, I don't think I'm gonna use this feature because I feel like I constantly need fodder for evolving. Like, I'm trying to think of what character. I think Marie is one of those characters that I have like no silvers or bronzes of her, so I need a lot of those to actually evolve so I can evolve the golds into diamonds. But anyways, okay, this is the one thing I don't like about this update, which I guess I'll get into it in a second. So they did update prize fights. First of all, the Medici prize fights, they basically increased, I'm not going to get into the details, you guys can read it if you want. Well, I'll read the last part. But they made it so there's more rewards for there's a higher milestone to reach, and you can get more coins for it, basically. So the total of coins you can get now, it went from 1,055,000 to 2,655,000 if you can complete all of the milestone rewards. But it goes up to 20 million points, so that is quite a grind. But at the same time, if you really need the coins, it's probably really worth it, so it's up to you. I don't know if I might try to grind this out, like, I feel like that was horrible phrasing. I might try to do this once just to see how long it takes me, but I'll have to see about that. But honestly, I don't think this is a bad thing, because at the end of the day, you don't have to do it. It's optional. So, oh, and I think it says they increase the rewards for people who place in the top 50%, top 25%, and top 10%. So anyways, I feel like the top 10%, like, who's going to grind this whole thing? I think that one isn't going to be that hard to reach. I think all you have to do is, I'm going to go ahead and assume to get to the top 10%, all you're going to have to do is get to the last milestone reward and be done with it. But that's a lot, especially because actually, okay, the Medici Shakedown prize fight is really short. I'm pretty sure it's only like 2 days. So you'd have to grind 20 million points in 2 days, which isn't hard, I guess, but it is kind of like a bit time consuming, I feel like. Okay, now for the part of the update that I actually don't like, the character prize fight update. Okay, so this, I guess we'll start with the good. So they updated the prizes that you get for each tier. So for the bronze tier, they added 2 premier relics. That's kind of the gist of it, actually. They added premier relics, or not just premier relics, but they added relics to the final tier of the rewards for each difficulty in the character prize fights. So in bronze, they added 2 premier relics. For silver, they added 3. For gold, they added 2 premier relics and a headliner relic. And for diamond, they added 3 headliner relics, or I guess 2 headliner relics. I didn't even realize you got a headliner relic for doing the diamond one. They added 2 more headliner relics and 3 premier relics. Now, the reason I don't like this update, well, this part of the update, is because unlike the last thing where the rewards, in theory, it's optional, you don't have to grind this out. If I keep saying, oh my god, why do I keep saying that? You don't have to do this if you don't want to. The change that they made to the character prize fights that I don't like is that they made it so you have to use a variant of that character's prize fight. Okay, I feel like I worded that weird, so I'm just going to read it the way they said it. In Diamond and Gold difficulties, a variant of the featured character is now required for all fights. So basically, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. I don't think I need to explain that, but I guess I will anyway. So if you're doing, let's say, a Squiggly prize fight, the Gold difficulty or the Diamond difficulty, you have to use Squiggly in all of your setups, not just your defense, because that's what you have to do with your defense. That's what you've had to do. You've had to have a character of that. For the Squiggly prize fight, you would have to have a Squiggly on your defense, and not vice versa, but it was the same for all of the character prize fights. Valentine, you'd have to have a Valentine. Beowulf, you'd have to have a Beowulf. But for the offense, you were allowed to be flexible and kind of just use whoever you want. But they changed it, so now you have to use a featured character. And I don't like that because it makes it way more restrictive. I also don't like that because, well, honestly, I just don't like it because it makes it restrictive. It really frustrates me that they would do that. That is so annoying. And I kind of don't see the point of doing that. I mean, I guess it makes it more challenging, and that's kind of the point. That's why they added, I guess that's a way to balance it. Like, okay, you can get these good rewards, but you have to have a slightly more difficult time to get it. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, to be quite honest with you guys. They also made it so you can't use silver or gold. Wait, hold on. Additionally, Diamond difficulty no longer allows the use of silver or gold fighters for attack or defense, while Gold difficulty no longer allows the use of bronze fighters. Okay, I don't know what to say about that part. I guess that's a little bit more restrictive too, so I guess I dislike that as well. But the main thing I don't like is the whole, like, you can't use, or you have to have a specific character on your team. I don't like that, so there you go. That's my complaint for this whole update. Prize fight refresh opponent. So they made it so you don't have to spend Theonite to refresh the opponent pool. You can watch an ad. I don't have anything to say about that. They did the same thing with the Cabinet of Curiosities. You can refresh it just by watching an ad. Again, don't really have anything to say about that. There's more details if you guys want to check that out, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys actually refresh that stuff. I don't, personally. Balance updates. This month relied on balance changes. Well, I don't know why I'm reading this part. It's because I actually forgot what they changed. Oh yeah, okay, they nerfed Lucky Lore. Okay, so Lucky Lure's old ability made it so while she was alive, she increased the active fighter's crit damage by up to 20% per stack of regen on the fighter. They changed it so now her crit damage only goes up to 15%, or the increase in crit damage, which is kind of a small nerf. Well, that part is a small nerf. They changed the buffs that she can pull from, or that she adds. I don't know why I'm having a hard time like articulating what I'm trying to say. Okay, they changed the buff pool. There you go. So the only thing that they changed was Dark, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Dark. Okay, so before Dark would provide Enrage, if you had a dark fighter on your team. Okay, for those of you that don't know what Lucky Lore can do, because I just realized they don't really explain what she can do, so if you don't know, then you don't know. Okay, so Lucky Lore's ability made it so anybody, as long as Lucky Lore was alive, if any of your characters got a critical hit, there was a chance that they would gain a buff based on the elements of a random fighter on your team. So if you had a fire character on your team and you had Lucky Lore, who's obviously a wind or an air character, whatever, and let's say you had a light character, there is a chance that when you got a critical hit, you would either gain a stack of regen, a stack of precision, or unflinching. So that's how her ability works. But they did change the buff pool. So before, if you had a dark character on your team, you would gain Enrage. Now, if you have a dark character on your team, you'll instead gain Deadeye. Or there's a chance you'll gain Deadeye, I mean. I don't know if that's a nerf, or I guess that's more of a change. I feel like that's kind of a nerf because Enrage can stack up to 5 times, whereas Deadeye doesn't stack at all. If you get Deadeye, you just kind of have Deadeye. But Deadeye is also a really good buff, so it's kind of like, I don't know if I'd consider that a negative change. It's just kind of a change because there's other characters that can provide Enrage. Specifically, I'm thinking of, what is her name? Oh my gosh, Mad Malice. There you go. Because Mad Malice's ability makes it so is as long as she is alive, the active fighter, if they get a critical hit, there's a chance they will gain a stack of Enrage. So in theory, you could actually pair up Lucky Lore and Mad Malice. And if you have a dark fighter on your team, then you can like get Deadeye as well as having that Enrage. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, or I guess it just depends. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue with Comet Custodian Marie where suction obstruction would interfere with using Hilgard's Haymaker immediately after. I think that's the one move of Marie's that I basically never use because I honestly don't even know how to use it properly. Known issues. 2 goals for the Backstage Pass in May say they require Bondetta relics, but will work with Headliner relics instead. Okay, well, that's the update. So let me know what you guys think about this whole update. I feel like they're like I said, it wasn't that big of an update, but at the same time, there kind of are some big changes. Like the character prize fights, that's kind of a big change. And that's like I said, again, I don't like that they made it more restrictive. That's the one thing that really bothers me about this update. Everything else is kind of like, it doesn't really affect anything, really. It's kind of stuff you can avoid if you don't want to worry about it. But that thing is annoying. And honestly, but you know what? At least, okay, actually, no, I'm going to keep complaining. Another reason I don't like it is because I feel like if you're somebody that doesn't really have like good versions of that character, or not good versions, but you haven't invested into them, I feel like that kind of restricts you a little bit. But I don't know. I just think it makes it more difficult for people. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, but whatever. Okay, that's all I have to say about this update. Once again, let me know what you guys think about all this, and I'll see you again next time. But goodbye for now. Actually, wait. Also, let me know what you guys think of these new characters. I think Skill Tip or Filia sounds kind of interesting, but I'm like, how difficult is it to use her? Like, how easy is it to inflict doom? I don't know. And then Manaflow Squiggly, she seems pretty cool too. If you guys have them and you have used them, let me know if they're good. But anyways, now, goodbye for real.